Coming up this week on Buyer's Guide, a young VW fan torn between two hot hatches, the Polo GTI or the Golf 7.5 GTI.
We also check in with a Ford Figo owner asking if his low mileage runabout is a gem or a gamble.
And later, an Audi A4 that's been through more thermostats than tires. What the hell is going on?
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Guide. Each week, we help you make smarter motoring decisions from buying your next car to keeping your current one running well. Welcome Obi, welcome Fazana, welcome back guys. Thanks for joining us.
Obi from Eagle Fords, good to see you.
Thank you.
And Fazana
from Redline Motoring.
Redline Motoring, you'll see her all over Instagram. What is it?
TikTok, Facebook,
TikTok,
LinkedIn.
Facebook, YouTube, wherever.
But check out her Instagram today.
Yeah.
First up, 22-year-old Andy just sold his Mark I Golf and wants a proper hot hatch. His shortlist consists of a 2020 VW Golf 7.5 GTI with 59,000 kilometers and selling at 539,000 Rand, or a 2020 Polo GTI with 36,000 kilometers selling at 498,000 Rand. Both are within his budget and both are quick, but which one's the smarter long-term buy? Fazana, come on, tell us.
For long-term ownership and tuning, it would be the Golf 7.5 GTI. I don't know, Obi, what's your
Why
thoughts?
not the Polo?
For long-term?
Golf's a nicer car.
It is.
It is a nicer car.
I definitely think it is. I mean, for 41 grand more, might as well get the GTI.
And both are within his budget, yes.
100%. And as well for resale value, I think the Golf
Will do
GTI
better.
Will sell better.
Will sell
Most
better than what
definitely.
Every lighty's got that Polo, man. But not every lighty's got a Golf.
Really, Adam, really.
Somewhat true, though.
That's true. Look, I'm not a fan of either of them, but he's a fan, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan either.
My
So-
big concern would be
Maintenance.
buying second-hand GTIs. Doesn't matter if it says Polo or Golf. We know the issues with them. Every one of them has been hammered.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're a fan of them, and let's be honest, there's lots of people out there that are a fan of them, and he's most probably done his research. He knows his gearbox is going to break, and most probably the engine's
going to fail.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But you want to go out and buy one?
Sure.
I would go with the Golf. I think the Golf it's a nicer interior, it's a bigger car, there's not so many of them around. The thieves like the Polo more than the Golf. So,
But they like the headlights on the Golf.
well, and the Polo, that's another one.
They like the
You have
headlights
to
on the
glue
Golf.
what are you going to chain your headlights back into the car because the guys don't steal them? But I mean, do we all agree that maybe the
Golf.
Yeah, the
Golf.
The Golf.
It's like you said, 41,000 Rand. You must probably get that back when you want to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all agree. Go and buy the Golf. You're a VW fan. You've had a City Golf.
He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Of course he wants the Golf.
No matter what I
Yeah.
say, I could say, don't buy this, don't buy that.
Yeah.
You say,
I
That-
want it.
That
Guys,
oak
not-
knows nothing.
nothing, man. Okay, go buy the Golf. All right. Now let's talk about Robert. He owns a 2012 Ford Figo 1.4. That's not a hot hatch. But it's only done 50,000 Ks. And he's wondering, are these older Figos solid little survivors or time bombs waiting to go? Obi, let's ask you. Ford Figos.
Brilliant vehicle.
Yeah.
The only thing that you always say is shorten your service intervals. Your normal service interval is every 15,000 kilometers, so I would say 10.
10.
Because it's only got 50,000.
Correct.
In how many years? 13 years.
13 years.
You're
So
not doing a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
Once a year or 10,000 Ks.
yeah. Otherwise, a great vehicle. Even resale value, they're very good on resale value. So
Especially, the 1.4s, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
Very
not
good
much to
call.
go wrong, is there?
not much to go wrong. 100%.
Do you like them for Zona? I mean, it is just an A to B car. It's not something you would drive. You're too flashy for that.
Yeah, we know that.
Guys, you make me sound so bad on the show. No, it's also before my time, but no, I'm pretty impressed by the mileage he has on such an aged vehicle. Preventative maintenance and stuff, he should be good.
One thing I'd recommend you do here: buy yourself an aftermarket temperature gauge, because this is one of the cars that don't have a temperature gauge. One of my biggest gripes.
Yes.
They spend millions developing a car putting all
There's
this
no
tech in there, and they don't put a temperature gauge in it.
These engineers were upset when
I
they
mean,
designed
what
this
the hell were people thinking when they do this?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't need a temperature gauge. Don't worry when the car overheats and explodes and it costs you a fortune because it didn't have a temperature gauge. Tell the owner that. Put a temperature gauge. You can go to, you know, these Chinese sites that everybody buys their stuff from, you know, starts with a T. If you go on there, you'll find these little temperature gauges that plug into the OBD port. So there's no wiring or anything. You just stick it on your dash, pop it into the OBD port, and you'll get the actual temperature of your engine. And you can actually set them to alarm if the car's starting to overheat, because then at least you know. The engineers say, "Oh, don't worry, put a little red light in there." A little red light comes on, the engine's
already
kaput.
done.
It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
And those things, I've bought tons of them, put them in customers' cars. They're like 300 to 600 rand, depending on which one you make. Fasana before.
Are those Figos prone to any fire hazards?
No,
No.
not at all. Don't dig
It's
up
the
that.
newer ones.
Just because it's a Ford
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's
So
going to
you'll
catch fire.
But only Cougars are.
And Fasana's nearly there. She's
Yeah,
nearly
she's
a-
nearly a
Wow.
Cougar. Welcome back. Naresh's 2013 Audi A4 1.8T has cost him a fortune. Multiple new thermostats, a new water pump, new wiring harness, and even a new control unit. I'm assuming he's talking about this electronic control unit, ECU. Is it just bad luck, or is there a bigger issue with a 1.8T? Fazana, come on, fill us in on how bad an Audi is. Or is this just a unlucky Naresh that's just bought a car that's just, unfortunate?
It sounds like a recurring coolant system and possible water ingress problem.
Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of them because this is very, very common and it's also very, very expensive. My problem is, in terms of this, let's start with the water pump. The water pump's made out of plastic and it's bolted onto a steel block.
Yeah.
So the block expands at a certain rate and
Plastic expands.
plastic expands at a different rate. What happens is those thermostats and the water pump is all one housing, and then you get little cracks appearing. But normally, you only replace it, like you've only got 103,000 kilometers. You normally replace it once in that sort of mileage. The amount of times you've done it a couple of times.
No. He's
it's
replaced at 103,000.
Yep.
He's replaced the thermostat.
Yep.
Now it's on 161.
Now it's on
148,000 Ks and
yeah.
it's failed again.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 200,000, it's going to fail again.
At 161,000, had the water thermostat
Basically
everything
Replaced
again.
again.
What's happening is it's failing all the time. And this is the problem with these things, is that they are just a bad design. And it's going to happen again and again and again. I would say, sell the car and buy something else. Because your problems are just starting.
I would say
I'm surprised you even
anybody
got-
who knows about these problems on the car, I'm not going to give him a good price for it.
Yeah. 160,000 Ks in the car, it's most probably starting to use excessive amounts of
Oil as well, yeah.
Its front suspension's most probably worn out, and you're going to have these problems again with the thermostat. I think, maybe up for correction, but there is an aftermarket unit that is made out of aluminium now.
Yes. That's why I suggested aluminium.
Yeah.
But it's aluminium with a bit of a plastic housing on the top
Yeah.
that drives
It's
it.
actually a better one.
better option, yeah.
You know, they say use genuine parts only, they're great. No, there's a lot of times where there's
Aftermarket unit,
manufacturers
yeah.
have looked at it and said, aftermarket manufacturers looked at it and said, this is a bad design, let's upgrade it. If you get the upgraded unit, they're a little bit more reliable. But it is a problem with these cars. Most of these Audi A4s, Golfs, things like this, that take these engines, will have this problem. And as you found out, damn expensive. I think it's anything from like 8 to 12,000
Yes,
for
absolutely.
that job. Now,
But
I
you know,
understand why you're getting frustrated.
I'm going to make Naresh a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
If he gave me $50, I'd take the car away from him.
Yeah. And
If
he,
he
but he
gave
had to tow it to your
Yeah,
workshop.
he must tow it to me.
Yeah.
And just
There-
give me
there's a good
$50,
offer.
I'll keep it for him.
On a serious note, Murendeni has 350,000 rand to spend and can't decide between a BMW 523 and an X3 2-litre diesel. With daily Joburg commutes and long trips to Cape Town, he's after something comfortable, efficient, and dependable. Which BMW best suits his need? Fasana. Both good cars. Whichever.
But both completely different
Different.
cars.
That's
eh?
exactly.
Yes.
He doesn't say much about what he needs because you got a sedan and a
And
SUV.
SUV.
So
Where would you go? What would you buy? Are you a sedan lady? Are you too young to be a SUV lady? You're not a mom yet. You don't need all the prams
Yeah.
and
see my
Thanks,
lifestyle, because I'm very outdoorsy now. So now I'm actually considering
The SUV.
SUVs, but we don't know what's his lifestyle because it's hard to now say either go with the sedan or the SUV. So I don't know. That's a tough
What do you
one.
think, Obi?
Well, firstly, let's look at his age. He's 31 years old. You
Mhm.
cannot put him in a 5 Series. That's an old man's car.
He could be a
what I
family
would
man
drive.
at that
I
age.
would drive a 520D.
Correct. And you guys are 80 plus. So when we
Oh my
Yes.
word. Really, Obi.
apologies.
I'm not that young.
90s and above, please.
So being 31, I think the much younger car for him is the X3 2-liter diesel.
More of a lifestyle vehicle.
More of a lifestyle vehicle. So I would choose definitely a X3. He's going to be doing long trips. It's comfortable. He's going to have to load stuff. It's got the space. So for me, hands down, will be a X3 for what he's intending to use the vehicle for.
And to add to that, if you buy an X3 2-liter diesel, it's a fantastic car.
It
It's
is.
mechanically the same as a 5 Series. So mechanically, everything's going to be the same. What you will find out is like in 3-4 years' time, you decide, look, I'm going to move on. I'm going to get something else. Nobody wants your 5 Series.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yes.
struggle to get rid of it. Your X3, there's a queue of people waiting for it.
Not if he's looking at a 530 diesel, though.
No, but even if you're getting a 530
A 530 diesel, a lot of people waiting in the queue to take it off your hands.
But not at the budget he's got.
Not at the budget he's
350
got,
grand.
no.
Yeah.
Go and buy the X3 because Fazana said so. And
Yes.
Obi.
I
and
did,
me,
actually.
And Segi.
I feel like I'm leaning towards the 520 now, but then also the X3 will probably sell quicker when he wants to
You'll
sell
get better
it.
resale value. If you pay the same price for a 5 Series
And a
and an
3X.
X3 today, in 3 years' time, you'd most probably get 50 to 80,000 rand more for the X3.
So can I ask you guys this? So between a 2017 and a 2019, those are two different shapes in the X3s. But in a 2017, you get one with 105,000 kilometers at the budget that he wants to spend, which is 350, and you get a 2019 with higher mileage, like 154,000 Ks. Now, looking at it from a mileage point of view, would you guys look at a shape change with 105, or would you look at the new shape with 154,000?
No, I'd look at the
That's
new shape.
interesting.
I'll
That's a
tell you
good
why.
question.
These 2-liter diesel engines, and they've proven track record,
Yeah.
they're nearly bulletproof.
Very
So,
good,
Yeah.
Very good engines. So, if I wanted a later model,
Yes,
I would take a later model with a higher mileage.
higher mileage.
Yeah,
That's
I would.
what I wanted
Because
to
if it was anything other than a 2-liter diesel, I would suggest different.
The other thing to look at as well is what sort of mileage are you doing on an annual basis? If you're doing, let's say, 30,000 Ks a year, which we would say is high mileage, then I would say go for one with the lower mileage, because otherwise you're going to put mileage on the 150,000 kilometer one much quicker. If you do average driving, buy the higher mileage one.
Yeah, there he
Because also
says.
the higher mileage, the newer one with more mileage, it's most probably going to be spec better and it's an improvement. It may be, I'm not too sure if it'll be the GO1 series, because the 2019 is the GO1 series, 2017 is the F25.
Yeah.
So the GO1 is actually a nicer vehicle.
Yeah. Nicer looking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that as a general rule because that was a very good question. And I'm sure a lot of people also consider it with the newer but higher and then older with lower mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting
Just
one.
depends on the mileage.
He's a daily driver in Johannesburg, and it's only 2 or 3 long trips between Johannesburg and Cape Town a year. So, it's pretty average mileage.
Yeah.
150 on those 2-liter diesel engines. If they've been properly maintained, they can do double that easy.
Welcome back. Imboneni is looking at the Haval H1 1.5 VVT at around 160,000 Rand for a 2018-2021 model with 70,000 kilometers on the clock. Is it a dependable buy for daily driving and long KZN trips, or should he look at something else? Obi?
For that price and that car, for me, it's a no-brainer. But a couple of things that he needs to look at is service history, how well has the vehicle been maintained, and if you compare that price bracket, you're starting to get smaller vehicles like your i10s,
Yes.
your Picantos. So the H1 is slightly bigger than your i10. So for me, that price raises eyebrows for me, because there's not much H1s at that 160 sort of price range. So for me, he's got to be very, very careful, inspect that vehicle very well, and make sure that he's buying from a reputable dealer that can have recourse should anything happen, or find out after that there's something wrong with the vehicle. And other alternative for me would have been a Ford EcoSport with similar mileage at that 160,000 Rand price.
Yeah. Fazana, what do you think of the H1?
I think Obi covered most of what I would have said as well.
Yeah.
And also just to ensure, also in addition to the dealer, the full service history.
Yeah, that verifies the mileage. You can see from
Yeah.
that.
Because
I-
70,000 K sounds a bit low, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's the H1. I think, you can find them in this price range because they're not as popular as some of the other legacy brands, and I actually quite like that car. It's a bit like, do you remember the GW Florid
Frog.
that came out, which
I'm trying to
one of the
I don't-
very
Florid,
first
yeah, GWM Florid.
When was this?
It was the ugliest car on the road.
It wasn't too bad. It was based on a Yaris. It even had the
yes,
center,
yes.
the speedo and everything in the
Yes.
middle. So we had one which we actually bought from a client of mine. We used for a couple of years, and then I actually sold it to somebody else who's still driving the car. And that's basically, it went from that to the H1, the Haval H1. And I actually think it's not a bad car because they're simple, non-turbocharged engines. They do everything that you can want and more, and it's a bit spacious. So I think if you can get one at this price range, it's a great buy. I think it's a good option. Your insurance will be low if you're insuring the car. Please do. And then obviously maintenance costs, it's fairly simple to maintain. It's uncomplicated. It's actually not a bad buy at all. So yes. And then finally, Lindu's 2025 Kia Sonet 1.5 LS Auto turned into a nightmare after crash repairs. It jerks at low speed, makes noises when he uses the aircon, and Kia wants 250,000 Rand for a new gearbox. Does that come with a car attached to it?
No,
The insurance
that's
has
the one
already
with the
paid.
gold gears.
180,000 Rand. So what now? So basically the problem here was the car had a crash, they sent it in, they fixed all the crash things, and then when they drove it afterwards, they found, something's not right here, which can happen because they can't, if the car's had a crash like that,
You
they
can't
really
drive it to test it, yeah.
Unforeseen damages. Now he wants, well, the insurance must probably just write the car off now.
Yes,
Yep.
they will. His concern was he wants to go buy a second-hand gearbox. I would suggest let the insurance write the car off, pay you out, and you look at another car.
But here's my thing here.
Yes, sir.
This is a 2025 model. Why are we even looking at second-hand gearboxes?
Yes.
For me, this is a warranty for mechanical issue or an insurance claim issue.
But if 2025, like you say, isn't in the first year of insurance, the car is fully replaced.
But that's a whole new debate.
Yeah.
The problem here is, so they've obviously spent 180,000 Rand fixing the car. Now there's this other problem come up that the gearbox is faulty. So that one chance of you finding a second-hand gearbox for it are basically zero. And even if you can, you can avoid your warranty because you're not putting in a new gearbox into that. So my advice here would be to get the insurance. They're going to most probably write the car off and move on and buy another car.
But as very common as people say that, right? Insurance these days are not writing cars off and are opting to rather repair. I don't know why, but they repairing more than writing off cars,
Well, yeah,
even as badly damaged.
But you know,
yeah, we're talking about roughly 450,000 Rand to repair the car if the gearbox is damaged.
but hold on, we assuming the insurance is happy to accept the claim that the car, that gearbox was damaged in the accident. We're making that assumption.
Yeah.
we shouldn't be making that assumption, because the insurance can repudiate this claim and say you drove it, it was fine.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing it back with a gearbox problem. What's to say they're not repudiating the claim?
Yeah,
is
that's
it not a
true.
problem with the gearbox, and Kia should be replacing it under their warranty?
That's what I'm.
So this
that's
is-
what I'm saying. Yeah.
This is a big issue. Is it a faulty gearbox, and that should be replaced under the warranty from Kia, or is it related to the accident? Now the problem arises: who says definitely this is related to the accident, or no, it's not related to the accident?
And it was insurance appointed panel beater, so it would be approved by Kia as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either way, whether it's accident damage, insurance should cover it, or if it's a damaged gearbox from just normal driving,
Warranty
Kia should cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem is, in defense of the panel beater. So you imagine now you've had an accident in your car. The panel beater assess it. They can't tell if there's an internal fault inside the gearbox.
Yep.
So they will put the whole car together and everything, and you drive it and you feel that there's some sort of problem with it. Maybe that was due to the accident, and maybe, like we're saying, maybe it's a faulty gearbox. So now you've got a bit of a battle, and it's not going to be simple. You're going to have to talk to insurance and see what they want to do, and you have to talk to Kia. So if Kia say it's related to the accident, they also need to show you or
How
prove
it's
to you,
related,
Yeah.
and
Why?
give you a report to that effect.
not just the fact that
Yeah.
well, the car was in an accident, so
Yeah.
the gearbox is faulty because of the accident. What was damaged in the accident?
And I think both parties are going to be giving pushback. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a very tricky one
It's
for.
not going to be an easy one to resolve, but it's going to be one of those things where you're going to have to deal with the insurance, deal with Kia, and come to some sort of compromise here. But if Kia, if it is related to the accident and the insurance say, we're not paying the 250,000 rand, we're writing the car off, it sounds like it was quite a bad accident.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would say if they do want to write it off,
Let them.
write it
Let
off.
them.
And like Segi quite rightly said, in the first year they may replace the car for you anyway. You may just get a new car. So those are all the things that you need to discuss with the insurance company and Kia here.
And yes, Lindo, and don't let them push you around.
Yeah.
And that's all for this week's Buyer's Guide. If you have a motoring question, you can send it to buyer'sguide@ignitiontv.co.za. And don't forget to include a nice picture of yourself.
Obi, Fazana, once again, thank you so much for joining us and your insightful information you give us and taking time out of your busy day, especially Fazana. You can't go and climb any mountains now.